Welcome. So today we're very happy to have Sarah, join us. Sarah is from our online ENT-505 class, right? So for every online student, please remember, you are always welcome to come to the face-to-face class. And then we will have a bigger size class. I think I would definitely appreciate that so that we will have more interactions among students, right? Okay, welcome Sarah again. So today, I want to go through our quiz, the phonology and phonetics quiz first, and then we switch to our second topic. The focus, of this week is the morphology. Okay, so before we get started, I would say a few students emailed me, showing their concerns about their performance in quiz 1. So please do not worry about it, okay? So you will get there. So it's very common for students to feel that phonetics and phonology is a little bit difficult for you. No problem, at this moment, no pressure, okay? I know you want to, you highly want your score reflects your performance and reflects your talent and the efforts in this class, right? I definitely believe you will get there. But for this one, quiz 1, I do have a few students who actually have some, questions about several quiz items. Let us go from here. I would like you to take a look at the following, 4 quick question items, okay? Then we will go together to get, these quiz items together. First of all, some students made mistakes on this quiz item. So when we talk about the voiceless fricative, we know 2 characters, 2 features of consonants are discussed, right? So voiceless refers to the feature of voiceless, whether it is a voiced sound or whether it is a voiceless sound, right? And another one, fricative, it talks about the manner of articulation. Right? So that's to say, for this question item, you do not need to worry about the place of articulation, right? So now, let us think about that. Since we are talking about the beginning, right? The beginning space. So that we are talking about the beginning sound. Now let us go through all these one by one. Number 1. Right? How about number 2? How about number 3? Then B, go. Right. How about next one? The. Now, let us understand all these individual phonemes. Number 1, sound. Let us think about it. Is this voiced or voiceless? To remind all of you, if you think this is a voiceless, then you cannot feel the vibration of your vocal cords, okay? Instead, if you think a certain phoneme is voiced, then you can feel the vibration of the vocal cords, right? Then you pronounce, did you feel the vibration? No. But the opposite one, as in E, then you know, that sound should be voiceless. That you said, you can definitely know E is not the correct answer because is the voiced sound, even though it is a fricative, right? So E is not correct. Then how about A? You think so, right? Because it's sound, it's a fricative and also it is a voiceless. Is that right? Now, this is what you can do. When you do your quiz, you are allowed to consult whatever sources you have. You can check your textbooks, you can check your, video, tutorials, whatever. You can also, of course, go back to check my, PowerPoint slides, right? You always get this chance to check whatever, resources out there. Because you have enough time, right? We have 1 hour to complete 1 quiz, only 10 questions out there. So I feel you definitely can, take advantage of these resources. That is to say, for this one, if you are not sure, you go back to check our table, right? In our textbook, the table addressing the different phonemes of, consonants. Is that right? Now, how about next one? Test. So we know it begins with T.
Is voiceless and
Once again, the voiceless. But it is not a fricative.
it's not
It is a
stop.
plosive.
Yeah.
Right? We have plosive. So it is all stop. Sometimes we call it a stop. Stop or plosive. You got it? So once again, you check the table. The table our textbook, let me take a look. Page 199. Right? So if you are not sure, go back to check. So plosive. This is plosive. Then how about next one? C.
Yeah.
Okay. Now versus go. Once again.
It's voiceless.
Is voiceless. Go is a voice. Right? And then we talk about k here. Okay, I agree, it is voiceless. However, if you think about the manner of articulation, it is also, so it is not a fricative either. It is a plosive, right? So once again, C is not correct because it is a plosive, not fricative. How about D? Go. Right? Go is a voiced sound. Right? It's a full voiced sound because go, go. Then you feel the vibration, right? Vibration of your vocal voice. Again, so not correct. We even do not need to, say check about the, say place of manner of articulation. You know this is not correct because it is a voiced sound, right? Then now your answer is A, right? Okay. Now let us move on. Number 2. You are very familiar with A because I gave you the example in the slides and in the lecture, right? However, you need to think about B and C as well, right? Because when we talk about anaphones, right, it refers to the variants of the same phonemes. That is to say, apart from A, you actually should figure out which pair should also be the anaphones. So remember, anaphones are the variants of the same phoneme. So B, A, and A. A as in apple. A as in freaking bed, right? How about C? Did you see the mark over there? So
Nasal.
nasal, there you go, nasalization. Very good. So remember the phonological rule? So if we have E, then mark like this, that means this A sound becomes nasalized. When it is placed
when it is before nasals.
very good.
And vowels.
Nasals.
Precipitate.
For example, like pin, right? Pin, P-I-N, right? So you know that N, no sound, no or is a nasal. Then you know this E sound can be nasalized because what? Because of assimilation, right? Now it's the same. It's a different case for E sound when it is say placed before like other sound like go. Like say I mean the phonemes other than the nasal, and then you do not need to say nasalize that E sound, like say pitch, right? And then sh sound, not pitch, is a pitch, right? Then that is not nasalized. Now you know. So since one is nasalized and one is not, then that is called anaphone, right? So there are anaphones.
A and C.
That's right. So you should choose A and C. I got it. Yeah. I know. A lot of students just feel a little bit confused about this. Even though they are not familiar, they are not introduced in the lecture, but you should judge. Oh, they are the same phoneme. Since they are the same phoneme, they are just the variants, right? Because of the different environment, right? Like asterisk consonant. I said usually it is put in the very beginning of the syllable, but the unasterisk sound usually put right after which sound?
It's spit.
S, spit, very good. So right after sound, right? So different environment, right? answer should be A and C. Okay. By the way, A and A are totally different phonemes. Okay, everybody know that, right? Next one, true or false questions. I know this one because some students believe this is a true statement because they feel like on is a negative prefix, right? Then they choose true. But in fact, when you pronounce this word, unhappiness, think about it, unhappiness, the which should receive the primary stress. Second one, right? So happiness, right? Unhappiness. So I mentioned that in some words that have multiple syllables, you may consider secondary stress, right? Primary stress and secondary stress, like encyclopedia, right? So we have P receives the primary stress, right? Encyclopedia, and then can receive what? Secondary stress, right? So that is reason why the primary stress so is mentioned here. So sometimes we can distinguish the primary stress from the secondary stress. But for me, unhappiness, we should know the primary stress is unhappy, right? How about is there any stress here? Unhappiness for No. Yeah. It is unstressed.
As far as I remember, you talked about it in the class that these prefixes, the negative prefixes, when you add to the word, they don't change their stress.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's right. Exactly. Very good. Very good. So the answer is false. How about next one?
It is false because it is really general. It says in English, every syllable contains an answer, the nucleus, and a coda. But we have syllables that it is just the nucleus.
Very good.
Yeah.
Very good. Can you give me an example?
I remember the example we had here, for example, written. We said N comes and works as a syllable itself, while it doesn't have all the parts. Yeah.
You do not have
Yeah.
you do not have all the parts for some syllables, right? For example, we can only have nucleus.
Yeah.
We can have a combination of concept and nucleus.
Yeah.
We also can have a combination of nucleus and coda.
Yeah.
Right? For instance, the article,
Yeah.
we only have what?
Yeah. Just the
vowel, right?
Yeah.
The vowel is called what?
nucleus.
Nucleus. Right? The vowel is nucleus. But if we add something before the vowel, for example, like no,
Yeah.
then we know the syllable can what? Can consist of both the onset and the nucleus. Right? You don't have to have all these three elements, right? Sometimes we only have like say nucleus and coda, right? Like on the table, right? Is that right? That's it. So of course that is false. Okay. The last one. What is the syllable structure of the word through? Once again, I want to remind you, when we talk about the syllable structure, you want to make sure you begin with the IPA rather than the English orthography, right? So if you take a look at the orthography, there are a lot of consonants, but those are the letters. So we're talking about the phonemes. Go back to check your IPA. So if you do through, then here I provide these three phonemes here, right? Through, right? Now you know two consonants, workless onset, right? And the vowel works as a nucleus. Is that clear? So the answer should be CCV. Is it clear? Yeah, that's much better. And so always remember, when you submit your quiz, you get a chance to go over all these question items. Did you check all the answers? Yes, good. So you check the answers and reflect on your, response, your, answers you have chosen. If you still feel, oh, that's difficult to understand, email me, okay, and I will explain. So sometimes I receive like 2 students or even 5 students who actually ask me the same question, then I will definitely, take advantage of our face-to-face class. And so in this class like this, I will actually explain all these question items to all of the students here and the online students as well. Okay? So feel to email me, okay? If you have any questions. So no worries, please, okay? I will see your actually the better performance, I believe, in the upcoming quizzes. Okay. Any other questions about the quiz? No? Very good. Okay. Next, before we get started discussing morphology, I would like you to know that you definitely need to learn more in the future about phonetics and phonology. So we here have another course. I know that is a structure, sound structure, a sound system. Okay, sound system of English. Say that course is actually offered by Dr. Lucy Pickering. So she's an expert and renowned scholar in this field, phonetics, English phonetics and phonology. So I definitely believe that you will benefit a lot from that class, right? So here in general linguistics, you know some basic knowledge about phonetics and phonology. Yeah, you'll go from here, and then maybe next semester, right? Then you can delve further into this subfield. It is actually amazing field. As I said in previous class, when you have interest in, for example, creating your own language, you should always begin with phonology and phonetics, right? So it actually has a lot to say with some other disciplines. For example, if you are interested in speech therapy, right? So you want to be a speech therapist in the future. Okay, phonetics and phonology are important, subfields of linguistics that you want to delve further. Now, let us move on. What is morphology? Morphology is the study of internal structure of words. So now we focus on the structure of words now. We actually analyze each individual sounds, and then we analyze the patterns of the sounds. And today, we switch to the internal structure of the words. So now the words are the larger units than the phonemes. In morphology, we should begin with morphemes. Like in phonology, we begin with which one?
The morphemes. Morphemes.
The phonemes, right? So in phonology, the smallest or the minimum unit is phoneme. So in morphology, the minimum unit is morpheme. That's right. So morpheme is a minimum unit of word building in a language that cannot be broken down but further into recognizable or meaningful parts. So that is to say, the morphemes is the smallest, is a minimum unit of the meaning. Okay, so that is to say, if you have prefix, suffix, these are morphemes because prefix and suffix can have meanings, right? For example, like redo, like this prefix. Re means what? Okay, right? So that is the morpheme. Of course, do is a morpheme. Do is a free morpheme because it can stand alone, right? So later I will explain these terms. Let us take a look at these 2 types of morphemes. We have free morpheme, we have bound morpheme. As I said, if this morpheme can stand alone as an independent word, then we call it free morpheme. Like redo. And I know do can be used as a separate and an independent word. then I don't do is free morpheme. But do. Re must be combined with another morpheme, another free morpheme. Then I know re is a bond morpheme, right? Now bond morpheme is a morpheme that cannot stand alone, but must be attached to another morpheme. So the definitions are clear?
Yeah.
Okay, now let us take a look at the following examples. We have rewrite, walking, and perceive. What are the free morphemes you can find?
Write, watch, see. I have never seen it standing alone, but I don't know how we can do that.
If you go check the definition, the free morpheme is a morpheme that can stand alone as an independent word. So you believe right is a free morpheme, right? Everybody thinks that's correct. How about walk? Yeah. Correct. Then how about that one? See. We don't have that word, right? So we don't think that is a free morpheme. That is a bond morpheme. However, that's interesting. Here, it seems like it serves as a base, right? We can say it's a base of this word, but we do not call it a free morpheme. Does it make sense? We have something like conceive, right? Perceive, conceive, right? So this C is a base, but this is not a free morpheme. So there are bond morphemes. Question?
Per the free morpheme,
Exactly. So do you mean this one per PER?
because we use like per this person.
Good question. What do you think?
I think that meaning is totally different with this one.
This one.
That pair means each, yes. But this pair doesn't mean that.
So judging from the meaning, the PER is a prefix, right? So this prefix definitely means different from that per, right? Is that right?
That pair, I think it is just a morpheme. That's right?
That's individual. That is an individual word.
Yeah.
That is a very good question. That individual word is definitely a free morpheme, right? If you just have the per there, right? Like this one, perceive. The per is a prefix. Do you think the per can stand alone as an independent word? In this sense, no. What does it mean by per here?
Nothing. I think as a prefix, it doesn't mean anything, but yeah.
What do you think if we have like perceive, like PER? Per.
Yeah.
Take everything in, right? Right? To show the coverage, right? Okay, but for me, judging from this is really good question. I may need to delve, further into this. But at this moment, when we talk about whether this is a free morpheme or bond morpheme, if we just judge whether it can stand or no, then I see, okay, per definitely can be a free morpheme, right? But here comes another question, because that per is totally different from this prefix per, right? Then do you still count this as a free morpheme? But of course, I know per can be a free morpheme. Does it make sense? But here, the prefix, this per, so I would definitely believe that it makes sense to say this per, PGRE, perceive, a bond morpheme, right? That's interesting. I definitely want to say delve into more and do some homework, and I let you know next time. Good. I didn't think about that at all. I just feel like, okay, the prefix, right? And then say it can be definitely say even need to, I should say, stand. So it cannot stand by itself because of this meaning, right? It should combine with another morpheme. Initially, I was thinking per, this one, and the bond morpheme. But later, yeah, you're right. Per is a word, right? But I can argue because that has a different meaning, right? Any thought?
You said C is the base word.
Yeah, because it's a base word. It's a base word, but it is a bound morpheme. Okay.
Yeah.
So that is to say the bound morpheme at least read here, ing here, in, right? And C. And for me, I would categorize part as well. Okay, good. We just really want to train ourselves to, say, develop our competence in the, say, analysis, linguistic analysis. We try to draw on all this data and draw certain hypotheses and try to test our hypothesis, right? Okay, let us move on. When we discuss bound morphemes, we may want to, say, divide them into two parts. One bound morpheme belongs to inflectional morphemes, okay, and another type of morphemes is called derivational. Okay, now here comes the first one, inflectional. Inflectional morpheme is a morpheme that is added as a suffix usually to a word to assign a particular grammatical property to that word. The key word is grammatical property. Okay, so that is to say we have some functions, grammatical functions here for the inflectional morpheme. If you add s right after a third person singular verb, present tense, right? Now, I like become he likes, right? She likes. You know the grammatical property here, right? So it's inflectional. Got it? So very similar. Now, if you want to make it plural, then you add s after the singular form of a noun, right? Pairs. Then that s is plural property, the grammatical property of it. Girls, girls, right? Then how about possessive? Somebody's, right? We have apostrophe s. So your child's toy. So again, that is possessive. Any other examples here? ing. When you want to use a progressive aspect, we are studying, okay? We are singing. ing here. Then how about ed? Past tense, or sometimes we call past participle to show perfective aspect. So I have studied phonetics and phonology. I have studied general linguistics. Have studied them. Then this ed is called perfective aspect or past participle. So if let's just say I studied pragmatics, I studied phonology, I studied pragmatics, right? So studied that ed shows past tense. Past tense, right? Got it?
Yeah.
Okay, let us move on. We also have ER and EST to show what?
Affirmative and comparative.
Very
form.
Superlative and comparative form of adjective. When do you use ER and EST?
When we compare two things, we use ER. When we compare one with the whole, we use EST, yeah?
Yes, so especially when you say do this when all these say part of speech are adjectives or adverbs,
Yeah.
right? But do you think every time we have ER and EST? No, these only apply to the words that are not multiple that do not have multiple syllables, right? Because there are multiple syllables. We have what?
EST.
Multiple. We
Also,
have
we
multiple
use
syllables.
most. We use most and
That's
most.
right. More and most.
Yeah, yes.
Okay, so they get to say here the grammatical property goes like this. When we have like maybe one or two syllables, right? Now we talked about the comparative and the superlative form. Then we have ER and EST and inflectional morphemes. Got it? Good job. Is that clear? So in your say chapter assignment, you'll get a chance to distinguish whether a certain form morphemes is a inflectional or derivational. Okay. Now, how about morpheme 2? Second type. Derivational morphemes are the morphemes that usually you can see the derivational affixes were borrowed into English from either Greek or Latin. So here I actually use affixes to take place of that morpheme, because usually when we talk about this, we talk about affixes. You know affix, right? Affix can include prefix and suffix. So I'll give you some examples. Hypertension, bioscience, and psychosis.
So they can be either suffixes or prefixes.
That's right.
Yeah?
That's right. So derivational morphemes can definitely be not only prefix, but also suffix. I know in some other languages, even infix. Even in the middle, you can change, right? So, but for English, prefix is suffix. Right? Like that sis, S-I-S. That is a suffix, right? But all this we call affixes, affix, right? So now, what is the main difference? What do you think? I mean, if you get a chance to distinguish, say, from, let's say, a derivational morphemes from the inflectional morpheme.
I think derivational morphemes, as the noun shows derivational, so they can change the meaning and part of the speech.
Oh, wonderful. Well done. So usually, if it changes the part of speech, or if it changes the meaning of the word, then it is a derivational morpheme. It has nothing to do with the grammatical function, right? So I mean, if we talk about grammatical category, then we talk about the part of speech. That's enough, right? That's good. So then to say, if we have work versus worker, I add ER right after work, then I know work, the verb, become a noun. Also, the meaning is changed as well, because work is a verb, and then you show this action. But worker is a person who works, right? So now meaning is changed, the part of speech is changed, right? But not like the inflectional. They are just like fixed categories there. When you need to judge, then you just need to go back to check the table, right? You just need to go back to check these different categories, right? If those categories you consider all of them, and if no one that can be applied, then you need to consider whether this is a derivational. Then further consider whether it can change the meaning or it can change part of speech as well. Sometimes it's just to change the meaning. Is that right? Okay. Like magic, magician, both are nouns, right? Magic and magician, both are nouns. But of course, meanings are totally different now, right? So this shen, I-A-N, is called derivational or inflectional. Magic to magician, I-A-N. Derivational or inflectional?
I think that's derivational. Magic is adjective? No.
Magic is noun. I said
No.
even though the part of speech cannot be changed, meanings are changed,
Yeah.
right? Later I will give you some exercise. You'll see. You'll test yourself. Okay. Now let's move on. These are some prefix examples, some examples for suffix as well. So for example, we talked about the negative prefix, right? Of course, all these prefixes give you the meaning, like not, right? Or not. These are derivational. Also the suffix, NESS. Then the part of speech is changed. What is the part of speech? And the word begins, ending with NESS. Kindness, It's a noun.
Adjective changes to it.
That's right, noun. Okay, NESS, noun. How about ER?
As I said,
The noun,
word,
the person,
word.
right? Or say nice or modernize, right? So adjective to
Yeah.
verb. Is that right? IZE, verb. How about able? Teachable, right? Able becomes a what part of speech?
Adjective.
Adjective. Good. How about last one? LY.
Adjective to adverb. Happy, happily.
Very good.
Slow.
Snow slowly. Happy, happily. AOY, right? It can indicate this is a adverb, right? But sometimes it can be adjective as well, right? Can you think of some adjectives that also ends with ly?
Friendly.
Yes, friendly and friendly, man and manly, right? So now you know ly is adverb. It can show this word may be either adverb or adjective. Here is one thing you should need to remember. Suffix can change the grammatical categories and part of speech of the word. Okay, this is really important for you to judge whether this is a suffix or say inflectional, right? Usually the prefix does not change the grammatical. Sometimes I should say cannot change the grammatical category, but you can always find some say different instances, right? But usually for the suffix can change the grammatical category. But it totally depends, like prefix. For example, like the negative prefix, it does not change the part of speech, right? Right? But however, if I have label, able, and enable,
Changes.
right, it changes. So prefix can change. Now, let us move on. We need to analyze the, say, structure this way. If we think about something larger than more things, then we talked about stem and root. Okay, so the root, see, I have that picture there. It's like plant. The root is a form which is not further analyzable, either in terms of derivational or inflectional morphology. How can you understand this? Compare with stem. Stem is the root of word together with any derivational affixes to which inflectional affixes are added. So, okay, stem is the root of a word together with any derivational affixes to which inflectional affixes are added. Judging from the two definitions, which is bigger unit? Stem. Why? Because stem can of course consist not only, consists of not only the root, but also some, derivational affix. Right? But for the root goes like, you cannot further analyze it into, for example, something like the derivational or inflectional. It's just the root, right? So stem is a bigger unit. I'll show you some examples. First example, nationalities. What is the root?
Nation.
Nation, right? So do you think the nation can be further analyzed? We can further analyze nation, right? Nation has a, fixed meaning there. Then how about stem? Stem becomes nationality. Nationality, then it consists of nation, the root, and also ality. This suffix, right? But why is stem? Because I'm talking about nationalities. Because I'm talking about this word, right after nationality, I had what? Plural form. Now you know. Oh yeah, go back to check definition. Yes, this stem is the root of a word together with derivational affix, ality, to which the inflectional affix es is added. Is that clear? So it's actually, when we talk about stem, you need to think about the relationship. Okay, the relationship between root and the stem, the relationship between the stem and the whole word. Like in the whole word, nationalities, there's only one, say, inflectional morpheme there, right? The inflectional is yes. So cut that inflectional, then the rest part is called what? Stem. Right? So that is to say nationality. This word can be divided into nationality and the. Then for the stem, you cut out that yes, plural form. That shows the grammatical property, right? And then the rest is called stem. But if you are talking about the root, then you should cut entity again, right? Because entity gives you the meaning like the state, right? A certain state. Okay.
Sorry, just to make sure, yeah, I want to, for example, information, yeah.
Okay.
So inform is the root.
Inform is the root. Very good.
So then,
Asian
Asian
is a suffix.
Suffix. So inform and Asian.
Information,
together,
Asian, A-T-I-N-G.
Yeah.
So that is to say you have the root inform, and then you have a suffix, Asian. So it becomes a noun. Inform is a verb. Good question, Yuan. Then how about the next one? I have another example.
Okay, I will choose like as the root, and then I will choose on, ly, and est as the, what do we call them? That
To them,
affixes, suffixes, and prefixes or stems.
okay, so which one are you talking about?
I will choose like as the root.
Like is the root. Do you agree, everybody? Yes, like the root. Okay, then continue, please.
Then we have on, ly, and est.
Yes. Now let us analyze on first.
Yeah.
On is
Prefix.
prefix. So of course that is called what? Derivational or inflectional?
Derivation.
Derivation.
Changes the meaning.
That's right. When we talk about prefix and suffix, we know they are derivational. Okay? Now, on is say prefix.
Prefix, yeah.
Okay, how about next one? Ly. Like ly. Just now I mentioned that ly can indicate this is a noun, but this is an adjective, right? So ly is a suffix.
Yeah, it's a suffix.
Yes. Okay, that is a reflectional or derivational.
Derivation.
Derivational. That's right. How about the last one? Unlike est, est. That is a
I said inflection.
derivational or inflectional.
Inflection.
Inflectional, because we're talking about the superlative form of adjective, right? Now you know stem is
Yes.
est shows the superlative form, right? So I mean, what do you think the stem is? In the word unlikely. You go back to check the definition. A stem is a root of a word together with any derivational affixes to which inflectional affixes are added. So that is to say,
So I would
you
say
have
unlikely.
the root, then you have your derivational affixes, then you are done with the stem.
Now I got it. So I will choose unlikely.
Unlikely. What's your answer?
Yes.
Unlikely. Okay. What's your answer? Harry?
Unlike.
Unlikely. Good. So you have got it. Is that right? So that is to say, we know unlikely is a stem, right? So because in this word, est, inflectional morphemes is added.
Now,
Got it? Seems like games, you just, do certain games, and some feel interested in the games, but some are, not, That's interesting. This is, say the games that the linguists are doing here. But that is helpful because later, when you help your students in TESOL, you try to, say, they teach them or help them understand the meaning of prefix, the meaning of suffix. Then they can actually grasp the vocabulary much better, right? or even more easily. Any questions so far?
Are we gonna do a little bit more exercise?
We will do the exercise, so that's the reason I asked
My head
you.
is- Seems like it's coming around too.
Okay, good,
I
good.
want more exercise.
Then the exercise gives you a chance to explore more, and then we'll come back and discuss together. So that will definitely enhance your knowledge, right? Wonderful. Now, I would like you to, first of all, finish your self-study exercise on page 192, and then I will give you 2 handouts. Okay. Now, let us finish the exercise 1 first. Exercise 2 on page 192. So, in the words below, identify all bond morphemes, free morphemes, derivational, and inflectional morphemes. There are 7 words for you to analyze. So I believe the online students are working on this with the exercises as well, right? So later I will submit the handouts to you guys as well. So the online students, when you watch the video, and then you get a chance to work on these exercises. And later we will discuss, all of them together. Are we ready? Everybody's ready, right? Now let us discuss the answers together. We'll go through all the answers, okay? So first of all, the morpheme practice. Remember, we needed to distinguish the root, say from the prefix and the suffix, and also we needed to make a distinction between free morpheme and bond morpheme, right? Okay, now how about governance?
It's my turn. Okay, govern
Which
as
goes-
the root
Root is
and bound. Sorry, govern. Oh, sorry. Govern is a root. It is free.
Got.
Then we have meant. It is derivational suffix and it is bound. And then we have s. It is inflectional suffix.
Do you agree?
Yes.
Wonderful. That's great.
Senselessly, sense is the root, it is free.
Good.
Less is a bound derivational suffix.
Good.
And ly, bound derivational suffix.
Wonderful.
Thickeners, thick is the free root. N is bound derivational suffix. Is bound derivational suffix. And S is bound inflectional.
Inflectionals. Wonderful. Yeah, well done. So you got it.
Okay, unspeakable on is derivational and bound prefix. Speak is free and it is the root. And then able, it is free derivational suffix.
This is another thing that I needed to discuss with you guys. Last time we discussed like perceive, right? And then here, again, like per, and then here is another one that is interesting, able, right? Able, right? Although, is this really a bound or is this really a free morpheme? What's your answer?
We found bound.
I reconsider it. I definitely draw the conclusion. In this case, if this is something that, I'm thinking about, we need to distinguish the function, the meaning, with the form. You know what I mean? Form, it looks like, okay, we have this word able, right? But in this sense, at this moment, we will see that this able should become the bound morpheme. It serves as a suffix. Do you agree? So for me, able, like the perceive, like the per one, even though we have the word per, but still I believe per should be the bound morpheme, right? I reconsider it, I would definitely agree, able is bound morpheme.
Repeatedly, repeat is the free root derivative. Or, no, I read the bottom, sorry, it's the free root. Ed is bound derivative suffix, and then ly, it's the bound derivational suffix.
Okay, you said ed is inflectional or derivational.
Derivation.
Repeated, ed. Think about the grammatical.
Well, I thought it was
property.
past tense.
Yes, that's right.
And
So it should
at
be.
first we got inflectional.
That's right.
I think I changed their mind. I said repeat is a verb. Yes,
It
that's
is a-
right.
Yeah, repeating the
When we
verb.
say repeated, it becomes an adjective because then we have ly. Ly changed the adjective into an adverb. So because this is an adjective, so ed changed the verb, so it is derivation. They were.
It may make sense. For me, at this moment, repeat is a verb, right? Everybody agree, right? Then if we change repeated into repeated,
That's
repeat
exactly.
and repeated, so sounds like this is the past participle. Again, it is verb past participle, right? For me, still, if we are talking about the past tense, say perfective aspect or past participle, then still it is inflectional, right? However, its function sounds like has the same function as adjective. Do you agree? Repeated. You
Yeah.
mentioned that.
Yeah.
Right? But for me, I just feel like something is repeated. Right? Again, I feel like this repeated is still I consider it as a past participle of the word repeat. So that's the reason I still believe ed is a inflectional and inflectional. Does it make sense?
Thoughtfully, thought is the free root. Full is the bound derivational suffix, and the is the bound derivational.
Wonderful. So once we have full, F-U-L, right? Full, of course, that is a bound, derivational, and an L-like bound derivational. Very good. Next one, number 7.
Okay, it's a good part. Yes, this is what I have done. It's a paraphrase. So I have picked phrase as the root.
Good. Phrase is a root.
Yeah. Then I have chosen para,
Para.
meaning beside, as a prefix,
Very good.
and it is bound.
Bound.
Bound. And then ing as the inflectional suffix, and it is bound.
Good. Right? Wonderful. Oh, wow. I'm so happy with your findings. Very good. Next one, contradictions.
Okay, so we decided on dict being the free root. Yeah.
Perceived is actually a root, I think, because actually there's no free morpheme at all. Remember that when we mentioned that perceive, even though see cannot, say use it as an independent word, but that can be a base and a root for that word, right? So for this one, I believe dict is a root, but we call it bound root, right? Do you think so? The bound root, but not the free root, because it cannot stand alone as a independent word.
Okay, so yes, the root is the bound root.
Yes,
Shun is the bound derivational suffix.
very good,
S bound in inflectional.
wonderful.
And contra is the bound prefix.
Yeah,
Derivative.
wonderful. Good.
Okay, protracted. Tract is the free root. Pro is the prefix, bound derivational. And ed is the bound inflectional suffix.
Again, seems like there's no word in this, at least there's no root. Say you cannot find a free morpheme as a root, right? So you only find what? Tract. Although tract is a free, we can say this is a free, right? Can we? No, we do not use it as an individual word.
Okay.
How about tract?
So then it would be a bound
That's right.
root.
The bound root, wonderful. So tract is a bound root, and pro is a bound derivational, right? And the next one is a inflectional. ED, okay, right? Done. Pass this one.
I'm just gonna check.
Okay, the last one is dishonorable. This as the bound derivational prefix, honor as the free root, and able, as we talked about it, bound derivational suffix.
Wonderful. Since we're talking about that, now everybody believe that's correct, right? So we think like even though we have the word able, but we feel we definitely need to distinguish the form from the function and the meaning, right? The function and meaning is above. It's totally different from the other. Be able to able, right? So we agree that this is a bound derivation of this. Got it? Wonderful.
Yes.
Now, next one, creative or fiction. This is something to do with the word creation. We will discuss in the second half of the class. That is something to do with the word creation. You can create your word. You can create tons of new words, every day. So here's how. For this exercise, you need to add a certain suffix, okay, or prefix, right? Number one, not having any peanuts, right? And then it should be something I found myself, but it should be an adjective there, right? So, what's your answer?
Peanut.
Peanutless. Very good. So, not having any peanuts, so peanutless. How about number two? The state of something. So, you should add something to make it as a noun, right? So, you add ness. What's your answer?
Peanutlessness.
Okay, so peanutlessness. Very good. Next one. Being able to be punched. The keyword is being able. Very good. So you add a ball right after punch. So punchable. Good. How about next one? Not being able to. Then unpunchable. Wonderful. How about next one? No state. Okay.
Punchability.
Punchability. Very good. So you have ability. So you change it. Say able into ability, because now you need a noun there. Next one. The state of not being able to. Unpunchability. Okay, next one. Fabulous job. Next one. Crunchiness. You add crunchiness to something. You add crunchiness. You make something crunchy. Right? Crunchify. Very good. So you make it a verb. Right? So crunchify. How about next one? Remove.
Decrunchify.
Decrunchify. Remove. How about next one? Restore. This is a keyword, right? Restore the crunchify. Very good. Recrunchify. Very good. How about next one?
Decrunchification.
A process. Now the process should be something to do with noun, right? So you change fy into fication. Then we think about something is removed. Okay, it's decrunchification. Very good. Quantification. Next one. You just said something.
Recrunchification.
Recrunchification. Very good. Wow. I'm so proud of you guys. Good job. We will have a 5-minute short break and then we'll come back and discuss word creation. We'll continue to discuss the word creation. Before we discuss the word creation, I want you to review these two concepts. Open class or content words versus closed class, or we call function words, right? So what are the open class words? Open class words are those words that belong to major part of speech of classes. So that is to say, we have nouns, verbs, adjectives, and adverbs. And these open class words are open. Why? Because unlimited number of new words can be created and added to these classes, right? Later, when you do the word creation, you can create a lot of new nouns, verbs, adverbs, and, adjectives. The second type is closed class words. So these words belong to grammatical or functional class. So that is to say, we have articles, demonstratives, like this set, quantifiers, almost, some, few, conjunctions, and, but, and prepositions, in, at, with, something like that, right? Do you think this is open? No, that is closed. So that is to say, you will see any change happens to this type of class, closed class words, very slowly. When you create your new words, you should create a preparation, right? You didn't say, oh, a lot of preparations, that occur recently. No, but you see, oh, a lot of new nouns, and adjectives are out there, Okay, now let's move on. First of all, let us go ahead and watch this, say, TED Talk video, and it's about making up new words.
I'm a lexicographer. I make dictionaries. And my job as a lexicographer is to try to put all the words possible into the dictionary. My job is not to decide what a word is. That is your job. Everybody who speaks English decides together what's a word and what's not a word. Every language is just a group of people who agree to understand each other. Now, sometimes when people are trying to decide whether a word is good or bad, they don't really have a good reason. So they say something like, because grammar. And I don't actually really care about grammar too much. Don't tell anybody. But the word grammar, actually, there are two kinds of grammar. There's the kind of grammar that kind of lives inside your brain, and if you're a native speaker of a language or a good speaker of a language, it's the unconscious rules that you follow when you speak that language. And this is what you learn when you learn a language as a child. And here's an example. This is a wug, right? It's a wug. Now there is another one. There are two of these. There are two. Exactly. You know how to make the plural of wugs. That rule lives in your brain. You never had to be taught this rule. You just understand it. This is an experiment that was invented by a professor at Boston College named Jean Berko Gleason back in 1958. So we've been talking about this for a long time. Now, these kinds of natural rules that exist in your brain, they're not like traffic laws. They're more like laws of nature. And nobody has to remind you to obey a law of nature, right? When you leave the house in the morning, your mom doesn't say, hey, honey, I think it's going to be cold. Take a hoodie. Don't forget to obey the law of gravity, right? Nobody says this. Now, there are other rules that are more about manners than they are about nature. So you can think of like a word is like a hat. Once you know how hats work, nobody has to tell you, don't wear hats on your feet. What they have to tell you is, can you wear hats inside? Who gets to wear a hat? What are the kinds of hats you get to wear, right? Those are more of the second kind of grammar, which linguists often call usage as opposed to grammar. Now, sometimes people use this kind of rules-based grammar to discourage people from making up words. And I think that is, well, stupid. So, for example, people are always telling you, be creative, make new music, do art, invent things, science and technology. And then when it comes to words, they're like, no. Creativity stops right here, whippersnappers. Give it a rest. But that makes no sense to me. Words are great. We should have more of them. I want you to make as many new words as possible. And I'm going to tell you 6 ways that you can use to make new words in English. The first way is the simplest way. Basically, steal them from other languages. Linguists call this borrowing, but we never give the words back, so I'm just going to be honest and call it stealing. We usually take words for things that we like delicious food. We took kumquat from Chinese. We took caramel from French. We also take words for cool things like ninja, right? We took that from Japanese, which was kind of a cool trick because ninjas are hard to steal from. So another way that you can make words in English is by squishing 2 other English words together. This is called compounding. Words in English are like Lego. If you use enough force, you can put any 2 of them together. We do this all the time in English. Words like heartbroken, bookworm, sandcastle, all are compounds. So go ahead and make words like duckface, just don't make duckface. Another way that you can make words in English is kind of like compounding, but instead you use so much force when you squish the words together that some parts fall off. So these are blend words, like brunch is a blend of breakfast and lunch. Motel is a blend of motor and hotel. Who here knew that motel was a blend word? Yeah, that word is like so old in English, lots of people don't know that there are parts missing. Edutainment is a blend of education and entertainment. And of course, electrocute is a blend of electric and execute. You can also make words by changing how they operate. This is called functional shift. You take a word that acts as one part of speech and you change it into another part of speech. Okay, who here knew that friend hasn't always been a verb? Yeah, friend used to be a noun, and then we verbed it. Almost any word in English can be verbed. You can also take adjectives and make them into nouns. Commercial used to be an adjective, and now it's a noun. And of course, you can green things. Another way to make words in English is back formation. You can take a word and you can kind of squish it down a little bit. So, for example, in English, we had the word editor before we had the word edit. Edit was formed from editor. Sometimes these back formations sound a little silly. Bulldozers bulldoze, butlers buttle, and burglars burgle. Another way to make words in English is to take the first letters of something and squish them together. So the National Aeronautics and Space Administration becomes NASA. And of course, you can do this with anything, OMG. So it doesn't matter how silly, the words are. They can be really good words of English. Absquatulate is a perfectly good word of English. Mugwump is a perfectly good word of English. So the words don't have to sound normal. They can sound really silly. Why should you make words? You should make words because every word is a chance to express your idea and get your meaning across. And new words grab people's attention. They get people to focus on what you're saying, and that gives you a better chance to get your meaning across. And a lot of people on the stage today have said, in the future, you can do this, you can help with this, you can help us explore, you can help us invent. You can make a new word right now. English has no age limit. Go ahead, start making words today, send them to me, and I will put them in my online dictionary word bank. Thank you so much.
Any thought? Any thought about the different ways of word formation? What did you like about her talk?
How to make new words.
She taught us how to make new words in a very fun and engaging way, right?
This borrowing is really interesting when you think about it. Yes, that why, for example, they borrow some words from some languages, some words, some special words.
That's right.
And what happens that they borrow that word? Yes.
Exactly.
The story behind that borrowing is very interesting.
Exactly. So usually, like if that one is missing, right, in a certain language, then we really need a certain say word to say assign to that meaning, and then we don't really need to have need to create our own language like English, right? We can borrow from a lot of different languages since they have that specific say terminology, right, to indicate the same meaning, right? And then we steal it, right? Because you can never give back, so we steal it, right? We call it borrowing or no words. LOAN, right? Okay, there you go. Okay, nice borrowing, yeah. It makes our language really diversified. Any other thought?
She was bringing up words that we've all kind of heard, and I thought it was really interesting how she said, we say, be creative, make art, make music, but then with, with linguistics, or, with words, with language, it's like, no, that's not something that we do. And there was something in the reading about that, and I was like, why? I even put like a question mark, because it had said how many languages resist borrowing vocabulary from other languages, but English has historically been open, and I wonder why. Why
others?
Why have other languages been as open to borrowing or stealing words? Because it does make for new ways to express yourself.
That's right.
Sometimes I'm a foodie. I love to eat food. And I know, like, when I make something really good, I say, I'm going to enjoyify this. And it's like, I'm going to enjoy it, but now I'm going to enjoyify it.
Okay, good.
So it's pretty funny, just in, our private lives, just like making up new words in our day. And, so I really liked what she was saying.
Great. Actually, you raised a very good question, because for some people who are not open-minded as you, they just feel like the language, their own language should be, distinctive, and they don't want to, say other kind of features of other languages, kind of like ruin their own language.
Yeah.
They feel like, we should keep the, say maybe uniqueness of our own, whatever, right? But from this, talk, we feel like that is really good. Not only fun, but also meaningful and insightful, right? It's another way for us to express ourselves, right? Especially in the online setting, right? Still multiple new words, right? a lot of acronyms, abbreviations, right? We want to be efficient. We want to do something quickly. That's the reason we cut. We have the clipping, right? We have the blending, whatever. Okay, so acronyms. Right?
Yeah, back home in the country, they do something. Just it happens on media, but really not between the people. When they get they come and try to change the borrowed words with the words that they have, or even sometimes they don't have words. So coin a new word for the word that has been borrowed. For example, instead of the people say computer.
Yes.
Yes, but on media they never say computer. They have used a Persian word instead of that. But it never works. They say on TV, for example, that word instead of computer because they don't want to say computer. They say this is a borrowed word. It comes from another language and it ruins the language.
That's right.
But people never use that.
So the people still say computer.
Exactly.
Computer,
People say
right?
computer,
So it's the popular word now.
Yeah, even if you go, for example, to a store and say, you say that word, the people will look at you
Okay. I got it.
weirdly. They will think that, okay, why do you use that word?
Okay. But
You
you
want
do
to show
have
off?
I see.
It's a pure.
Exactly, yeah.
I see. Interesting. Very good point.
Yes. And sometimes I think, okay, why should they do that? Yes. Because we talked about it, we said the language is not static. Yes, language changes.
That's right.
Yeah, so
That's right. So we are open, right? We are open to accept new forms and even let us view the world from a different perspective, right? The language can open up new window for us to understanding
exactly.
others' culture and the whole world. That's right. Very good. I know online students will get opportunity to comment on this video while the online discussion. So I look forward to reading your posts there. Okay. Now, let us discuss the different types of word formation discussed in our textbook. So we have affixation. So as you did just now in your exercise, you add the prefix, the suffix, and you create new words, right? The affixation means you adding a morpheme, especially the affix, to the affix to a word. So for example, you add ESF, ESE, you add ER, whatever, right? Okay. Next one, compounding. Compounding means you combining so these different words, individual words. So make these words joined together. For example, you have two, blue, and then you add another noun and put them together, combine them, right? And so for example, blue, we have blue tooth, we have blueberry, we have blue color and bluebird, right? What in this case we call say bluebird rather than bluebird, right? It's a little bit different about the stress here, right? So bluebird, this is a phrase, but bluebird is a kind of bird, right? So this is combining. So remember, the compound words have a specific pattern of stress. Primary stress in the first element, and a secondary stress in the second element. So like blue bird versus bluebird. So if this is a compound word, then we know the stress is on the first syllable, then it's bluebird. Also like White House versus White House. Of course, we know White House is the compound word, right? Compounding word. Okay. Not White House. So White House can refer to any house that is white. But White House. Okay. Is something different. And then we know. Okay. Next one. Acronym. Acronym has a lot of similarities with another term, abbreviation. Acronym and abbreviations, both, are defined as a way of using the first letter of each individual word and put them together. But if this word can be pronounced, say, as a single word, then we call it an acronym. Does that make sense? So, for example, can be pronounced. Sorry, like TESOL. We never pronounce it as TESOL, right? TESOL, because definitely we can pronounce this as a single word. Teaching English to students of other languages. Okay, how about pain? Okay. Oh, yeah, PIN. The full name is
Like the security,
personal
identification.
Yeah, the personal identification number, right? How about next one? We call it div.
I call it div.
Yeah,
It's like
I call
the
it div. Is there something to do with exchanging image format, right?
So GIF stands for exchanging image format.
You think so?
I don't know. I've always just referred to it as a GIF.
I just go again, right?
Yeah,
That's
I've
right.
never
Yeah,
heard of the
If you
full
want,
name.
yeah, if you want to Google it, you can do it right now.
Yeah, the graphics interchange format. Yeah, is it right?
Graphic interchanging, right?
Yeah, the graphics interchange format.
Okay, graphic interchanging. No, I made a mistake. Graphic interchanging format, right? Okay. So that is to say, you can. Yeah, that's cool. Oh, good. How about this one? Yeah.
They said this is the CEO of the company.
That's right.
Yes.
The chief executive
Yeah,
officer.
chief executive.
Chief Executive Officer. Very good. How about next one? Yeah, next one. We actually mentioned that just now, right? Just now, in our talk, when we talk about that. How about next one? If we say very similar to acronym, okay? If we put this first letter of each individual word together, then you feel it's hard for us to pronounce it as a single word. Then we call it abbreviation, right? For example, we don't know how to have ATM pronounced as a single word, so we just pronounce ATM, right? Automatic teller machine.
What about the CEO then? Because it's CEO on acronym.
Oh, exactly. You did a wonderful job. I didn't realize that here. We do not have CEO here. You're right.
Oh, okay.
I made a mistake. Sorry. Of course. By the way, we never say Geo, right? We say CEO. Yeah, good. Okay, how about this one? IT.
Information.
We do not pronounce it, right?
Information technology.
Yes, we say IT. So, how about this one?
Oh, yeah. On the simple plan.
That's right, right? That's right.
On
That's right. Good. So, once again, we cannot pronounce this as a single word.
RSVP.
Right? Okay, so again, like DVD, UFO, OMG, just mentioned, oh my God, something, So, how about this? Sometimes it's very interesting. We even combine the numbers, right? Like F to F, right? Face to face. How about next one? Bye for now.
Bye
Oh,
for now.
Bye for now. Right? So if you say check the website, you will see whatever internet, a lot of websites, shows you a lot of new words that are coming out recently, and I feel, oh, I never heard that word before. This is so interesting. We have tons of new words that are created recently. Any questions for acronym versus abbreviation? Okay, good. So if this is it can be pronounced as a single word, then that is acronym. Good. Then next one, clipping. Clipping actually shares some similarities with the compounding. So clipping shows something to do with the abbreviation because you try to sort of make it shorter, right? Mm-hmm. But this one, you just need to cut part of the word. You do not need to, have different words, say considered together. Instead, clipping, you only focus on one word. For example, we have refrigerator as a fridge, right? And influenza, just like a flu, right? Like this one, professor, we just have like say PROF there, right? Like doctor, we have DR or drive even, like that. GA, like say graduate assistant, whatever. You know, clipping shows that you can reduce a word, you know, to one of its part. Is that clear? Okay. Next one, blending. So blending has something to do with combining, because again, blending addressing combining different words. However, when you combine these words, you also cut part of the words. Then it becomes a blend words, right? So different from compounding. Compounding is what? Is you just need to combine, you know, two different words. Then you are done. But for blending, you try to cut part of the words and then you combine them, right? So for instance, like motel, right? Motel, hotel. How about netiquette?
Etiquette and no, I don't know.
Net, etiquette.
Net.
So especially when you know, say join the online discussion, then we say, you know, you should have, you know, say bear this in mind. You know, you should bear netiquette in mind. You know, net, etiquette. Then, okay, next one we have podcast, right? So two words are blended. So one is iPod and the other is broadcast, right? So iPod, broadcast, so podcast, right? Okay, next type is generified words. So generified words usually are the words that you see we using the, you know, specific brand names or products as name of for that products in general. So that is to say, usually this is a specific word, but we use this specific brand for the general product, like Kleenex, like Google, and Coke, right? So especially in the South, right? We use Coke a lot to refer to the soft drink, right? Another type is called borrowing. So again, knowing. And so the knowing words from other languages, right? So for instance, avocado from Spanish, right? Like kindergarten from German. Croissant from French and sushi from Japanese, right? So we have a lot of borrowing words. Next one, back formation. Creating a new words by removing the supposed affixes. So this is very important. These affixes are supposed. You know what I mean? So for example, you have lazy. Is this Y a real suffix? It's actually a supposed suffix. It's kind of like we regard it. Oh, we can, you know, regard that Y as suffix, and then we cut the suffix and then, you know, change Y into E. It becomes a verb. Lazy is the adjective, and then lazy is the verb. So which comes first? Lazy comes first, or lazy comes first? Lazy, that's right. So you should notice that that's a difference between back formation and what? And the affixation. Affixation is that you have something first, then you add a certain affix, right? So that is called affixation. But for this one, you have a certain word that you feel like, oh, there is a supposed affix. I want to cut it off. And then you make this word shorter, right? Meanwhile, possibly you change the part of speech. Usually, in this case, you change the part of speech. I give you another example, like editor. Editor comes first. You see, so seems like this OR is a person. Then I cut OR, so it becomes edit. It's the same case with enthusiastic. Somebody is enthusiastic. This is adjective, right? Now I feel, I don't want to use a verb. Then I assume enthuse can be a verb. That is to say, I regard that aesthetic as what? As a supposed affix. Does it make sense?
Yeah.
That is back formation. So sometimes students got a little bit confused. For example, they may think, okay, can we see worker and the work? Is that formation?
No, it's not.
I cannot say this is a good example of back formation because we have work first, and then we add the suffix, it becomes worker. Then that is called what? A fixation. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So like this, totally different. You have like a television. Then you feel, possibly I can delete that supposed suffix, and then we have televised. Verb.
The same as the example under that TED Talk, virgular.
Yes, and
virgul.
but that's right, and verbal, that's right, very good one. Yeah. So, but anyway, you just realize that the back formation make the word shorter.
Yeah.
Then change the part of speech, back formation. But for a fixation, you add the suffix or you add the prefix, right? That is a fixation. Okay, so I give you the chance to create your own words, not only just give some examples of these individual, types of words. You also can create your own word in your chapter assignment. Okay, I try to, give you the opportunity to create your own words. Now, I'll give you this pre-teaser. Can you create only one word? Asking this question. For example, there is an app for that. So I said, I give you the situation. I told you, there is an app for it. Then I ask, did the app help you know the procedures better? Create a word, one word, to answer this question.
Instead of absolutely.
Wonderful, that's right. So what's the answer? Rather than absolutely, you use absolutely.
Yeah.
Good job. See?
It was a brain teaser, really.
See? This is actually so fun. I would love you to have this situation and create. And then when you give this answer, all of us understand, right? We say, oh, absolutely. Wow, this is so smart. I love this word. Good. You got it? Okay, so lastly, I want to say, sometimes you even do not need to create the new forms. You actually can have a new meaning by just reuse that specific word. Remember, during the talk, the TED Talk, the lady introduced something like, you can green something, right? Because usually we know green is the adjective, but you can also say, let us green the city. The green become what? Become a verb. Right? So once again, this is a way of word creation. So that is to say, you create the new meaning rather than create the new form. Right? So this is to say sometimes the meaning of the word can be extended. Right? That is what we call meaning extension. So that is to say, you use metaphor of the word on which it is based. Right? So a lot situations goes like that. You actually have something just used as a metaphor. For example, like the head of organization, right? We're not talking about the head here. We're talking about the person who, functions as a head, like a leader, guide all of us, in this organization, right? Like the foot of the mountain. Are you talking about the foot? No, right? This is once again, your metaphor is used here. And I'm all ears, right? Ears.
Listening.
Yeah, we are attentive. Is it clear? Right. So that is to say, sometimes you try to reuse the word to, have a new meaning attached to it. This is also a creative way, right? Okay. This one I want to introduce. This reading is actually a seminal work by Lankoff and Johnson. Metaphors we live by. Okay, I uploaded this piece to our course site, and the reason why I did, this week, because I'm thinking it is highly related to the, language creation. That one we will be discussing, in detail when we discuss semantics. So because this has a lot of relationship with semantics. But now okay, these are specific types of, say metaphors we may, say think of when we try to create our new language, right? So think about that. If you create a new word, think about a metaphor or something, this can be insightful, right? But I do not need you to think about it and respond to it. If you have time, read it, get ready for the, say class discussion next time, maybe, following several weeks. So right after this, we will cover syntax. But right after syntax, then we will, discuss semantics. Then we will discuss this piece. Okay? Okay. Last thing that you can think about this, word formation in other languages. So online students will get a chance to, again, address this in your discussion forum. I know that is a, good opportunity for you to explore a new language, right? So do you think there are similar, say ways of word formation in another language? Okay? Think about that. Okay. Any questions? So that's all for
questions are guaranteed in the
yeah.
right.
Yes. Questions are guaranteed enough, answers are not. Yeah. Right? So lastly, I just want to remind you, this week you need to finish your online students, you need to finish your, online discussion, right? So for next week, I may definitely want to do something different. I want to move this midterm, creative multi-model project to week 7. The reason is that I will be presenting at the, conference in the week of, week 9. So that to say I want to move everything a little bit. So this multi-creative writing, I would definitely want the students to, think about this project, begin, preparing for it. I will give you guidance, I will give you instruction, and give you the sketch to consider in week 7. So that is to say, I will not have any lecture in week 7, next week, okay? So instead, you need to prepare for the multi-model project. So what technology are you thinking of? What specific topic will you choose? What will be the format? I will give you the instruction, the guideline, assignment sheet first, right? It will be uploaded, to the course site, possibly tomorrow, okay? Then you will work from there. The face-to-face students will have a conference with me. For those online students, you can definitely email me your sketch, to seek feedback. But I will, once again, give you a chance to exchange your ideas with me, okay? So right after that week, you will have chance to continue working on your multi-model project. So that is to say, this week, you will not submit your multi-model project. Instead, this will be due in week 9. Is that clear? So that is to say, I give you another 7 days to work on your creative multi-model project. So that is to say, it will be due on March 17th, right? So that is to say, in week 9, we will have chapter assignment number 3 due, and we will also have creative multi-model project due. Is that clear? So week 8, for 8 and 9, I will have you definitely work on those because I will not be here because of my conference. I will be presenting at 2 conferences, Triple L and TESOL, right? Then for week 8, I will do the syntax lecture. You got it? So next week, conference for online students, you do the preparation for the creative multi-model project and the discussion with me, if possible, using Skype or email, okay? And the next week we'll do the syntax lecture. Okay. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for your hard work in this course. Keep up the good work.